Yolan True and welcome to another exciting day in our galaxy, and today we have another episode of our little A to Z officer series. We will talk about another rare officer of that series, and in this case it will be the original series Hikaru Sulu. Of course, as usual, we talk about the normal stats first, and that is that he's class command, which means he needs command badges to upgrade. He's from the group, the original series Enterprise crew. That means when he's captain, he can get synergy from another of that crew or give synergy to a captain of that crew if he's on the bridge. And he's from the faction Federation, which means he needs Federation faction credits for upgrading. And for someone from a series or a movie, the info text here in this info box is quite short. You know that for every officer there's an info text in these boxes, but for Hikaru Sulu, it indeed is quite short. So I don't know, at the beginning when they started with the game and the original series crew was quite early in the game, they must have been a bit more lazy than today when it's about some more famous characters. But that is the first Sulu ever, not only not in this game, but in the Star Trek series, the original series. And at this point, I have to say, the actor is really a nice guy as well. I had the chance to meet George Takei when I was still in school, and that was quite a nice thing. I was on a Star Trek convention in Munich, and there I met him and we talked about politics. I was in politics at the time already during my school time, and we talked about a lot of stuff there, and that was quite nice. And some journalists came that had no appointment, and so he for quite some time finished his conversation with me before he then finally gave a TV interview. But for someone that famous, and you always think that those especially famous actors are all divas and everything. Just wasn't the case with George Takei. He absolutely nicest guy I've ever met from TV, and I met a number, especially because of my job later I had in London. And so that was just something I want to add here in this video, because that's an experience I will never forget. But we still have to talk about his character here in the game, and as you could hear, he does have a captain maneuver, optimist at heart. At the start of each round, Hikaru Sulu has a 55% chance of inspiring morale for one round. So if you don't have Kirk, you have another chance here to get morale for the Enterprise, for example. And that is good always to have another source for this, because some other officers need morale as a prerequisite. And so Sulu is one of those that can bring it. And his officer's ability, I'll protect you, is that if the ship is an explorer, and this is the original Enterprise crew, so of course he needs to be an explorer. At the start of each turn, if the ship has morale, he increases the critical hit chance by 10% for that round. So he brings the morale he needs himself with his captain maneuver, and then he can increase the critical hit chance. And at the time when he was introduced into the game, a 10% critical hit chance increase was quite big. But nowadays, I use the fact that as a rare officer, he does have two abilities for away teams, and that's what you can unlock as pilot and perceptive. There is a number of pilots. That's why I wasn't forced to upgrade him too much yet, but I will need the perceptive part, so I will continue. But there are so many officers, if you have as many as I have, to upgrade, that you don't upgrade all of them at once. And in the end, I will upgrade him more, and I am using him for away teams only nowadays. But if you have the chance to get him earlier in the game, he can be quite a good addition, for example, on the Enterprise. That is the point where you obviously want to know how to get him in with Sulu. It's not too easy, but it's also not too hard, because he is in the normal recruit section, and here he is in what I always call the overcrowded one. He is in the ultra recruit section, but you see that you have to scroll a while. There he is. You have to scroll a while to find him because there's so many officers in here. So you need to be a bit lucky to get him, but it's a chance that you regularly can use because you regularly will get tokens for the Ultra Recruit section. But he's also in another recruit section that I always say I'm not using, but if you choose to do that, you have a better chance of getting him, and that is the Federation Elite Recruit section. Those tokens you can get via the Federation Faction Shop if you have the proper reputation for it. For my personal taste, they are too expensive. And I usually use the Federation credits like the other faction credits for ship blueprints. But in this case, it's up for your choice. If you are like me, you will not do it. But if you decide that you want more officers, you are able to use the faction credits to get those tokens and then have a chance of getting a lot of officers here, especially those that are otherwise rare to get, like Sulu, who's only in the Ultra Recruit section, or once a month in the Crucible of War Recruit. That's another chance that you have. It's not on at the moment, but when you have that recruit section, depending on your level, it's one or two of those that will show up here. There you have another chance of getting shards for Sulu. In this case, I really would like to know, are you using him like me only in the away teams, or were you lucky to get him early? And you can use him early on in the game already, where he makes a bigger difference than later because they added so many officers in the end. If you just scroll through the number of officers that are there, then you know why certain officers from the beginning of the game are not as important anymore as they were when the game started. But you see, they are adding more and more. I was down to a few officers I didn't have. I think it was 4. Now it's 7 again. Although I talked about one of the officers in my away team video recently, and that was Data. As you can see, the away team was successful. I finally got Data just via the away teams. So don't neglect them, as I said in that video, because it works. I finally got Data after more than 2 years. Via away teams, I managed to get him. And if you want to see another video right now, for example, the away team one, I don't know what YouTube is showing you, but the next one is right here in the end screen. I'll see you there. I'll be back.